All right, what's up, guys? I am going to do a refill on my Polygel nail set that I did about two and a half weeks ago. With these particular nails, like if you look at my nails, I know it doesn't look like that there's a lot of growth, but some of my fingernails grow very slow. Others may grow a little bit faster, so that's why some of them are all jacked up. But we're going to go ahead and do this refill with Jershon, I believe it's called. This Polygel kit I got off of Amazon, and I'm really debating on which ones to do the refill with. I was gonna do the bean red, but I'm not sure. I may do another video with this bean red. It's really pretty though. It's a dark pink nude type color. But I may use that in a different video. I created this ombre effect with two different color polygels. One of them is a dark pink, and then the other is the cover pink. The cover pink is my favorite because it gives a little bit more of a natural nail bed color. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and use these two to refill my polygel set. All right, so I am going to start by removing the stones. Now I'm using a regular nail clipper because my my cuticle nippers broke, and I ordered some on Amazon. They were supposed to be here today, but they never came. So I'm using just a regular fingernail nail clipper to remove the stones. Now look at this foolishness. Now I had banged this nail so many times, but I was holding on, popping nail glue on there from time to time just so I didn't have to refill it before I wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking off the remaining stones on this hand, and then do the same for my non-dominant hand. All right, so now, and I know usually if you watch other videos, they tell you with polygel, you don't necessarily have to use an electric nail drill, but I wanted to because I wanted to kind of get through this set quickly. However, you do not need a nail drill. If you have a just a regular nail file, I recommend either 80 or 100 grit nail file, and it'll help you to file away this you know, the growth or the lifting on your nails if you do not have a nail drill. But I'm gonna go ahead and use a drill, like I said, because I want to get through these rather quickly. And I'm just going to file off the top coat from the nails, and also any lifting that may have occurred in the time that I've had these nails on. So I'm just filing away, and I'm going to do that to all of the nails. And what I love about polygel is that not only is it easy to work with, but it is also easy to deconstruct. Because like I mentioned, you do not need an electric nail filer to remove these nails. You can use a regular hand file. You just want to make sure that the grit is low enough to where you can get, you know, really get in there. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and dust off the excess dust from filing the polygel nails so that I can go ahead and move on to the next step. right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the medium grit tungsten carbide drill bit, and I'm going to replace that with a cuticle safe ceramic fine drill bit so that I can get around and into the cuticle area. Now these type of drill bits are really good when you want to get up close and personal with your cuticles without like ripping them to shreds. So here, because I wanted to get like all up in my cuticles, because I didn't do that at the beginning, I went ahead and used a cuticle drill bit as well. These are the ball bits, and I really like these because they help to clean the cuticles, all that dead skin that you find up around the cuticle. It is really good at helping to get that and remove it. So these are the two items that I use to prep my nails. Doesn't matter what type of set I'm doing, whether acrylic or polygel. But these are the Mia Secret Nail Dehydrator and Nail Primer. And I absolutely love these because they help with lifting. As a nail biter, that's something that I, in the beginning, always had problems with. And even now sometimes, because I'm very rough on my hands. I have 3 boys. But this combination of nail prep, the nail dehydrator and primer from Mia Secret, I found it on Amazon, and I believe you can still find it as a combo, like for the two of them to come together. But I recommend any set that you use, make sure that you use a dehydrator and a primer as well. All right, so here I am just making sure that I put the nail primer on each of the nails to help with adhesion before I put the base coat on. Each Polygel nail kit should come with a base and a top coat. I absolutely love this Jershon base coat. I actually have used this with other different types of Polygel, and it works absolutely amazing. Very seldomly do I have any lifting when I use this base coat because it helps the nails like literally stick when you're doing your polygels. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that for about 60 seconds, but I'm not going to make you wait that long. All right, so I decided to go with the Cover Pink polygel to cover these nails. Now this particular one, and I'll be honest with you, the design idea that I had in my head, I knew that I was going to fully cover my pinky nail, so I was really sloppy with it. You got to forgive me. But with the polygel, it allows you to take your absolute slow time if you need to make sure that you are laying that polygel up as close to the cuticle as you can get without flooding the cuticle. You want to make sure that you use a good amount of slip solution. The slip solution that I'm using here is just 91% alcohol, which works great, but you want to make sure that your brush is not super hydrated with the slip solution, because what'll tend to happen is you'll start to get like those little white bubbles on your polygel, and you don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the polygel on each of the nails. I'm getting as close to the cuticle as I can get without flooding the cuticle too much. Anything that does go over, I'll adjust and I'll fix it with my filing. This polygel is super good. I know that a lot of different polygels, sometimes they may run or they're really loose, but what I like about the Jershon polygel is that it's firm enough for you to have time to work with it, but it's very flexible. It doesn't run. Sometimes I'll lay the polygel on each of the nails and then go back and work them through. You can't do that with some other brands, but I know that this Jershon brand is one of my favorite because of the workability of the polygel. See what I mean? You're struggling with an apex with Polygel? No problem. Look at how that Polygel lays. I absolutely love, love, love this brand. Just laying this last bit on this hand to fill the thumb. Now, just a tidbit, I had destroyed my thumb a couple of months ago in an injury, and surprisingly, my nail has grown back beautifully on my thumb. But it was extremely painful. What I love about the Polygel, for my thumb, I use the form to adhere the nail to the nail plate, and that worked out beautifully. So right now I'm taking the 91% alcohol or your slip solution and removing the tacky layer from the Polygel nails. If you don't do this step, you will ruin your nail files because of the tackiness that is still on the nail. So make sure that you clean the surface of your Polygel nail set so that you don't have that tacky layer. So here I'm going to go ahead and file and shape the nail using a 100/100 grit nail file that I got from a cart. I really love these nail files because they are, they're really good and they're pretty sturdy too. I've used several other nail files in the past and they've been pretty flimsy. Some that I bought from Amazon, but I love the McCart brand because they are very sturdy. And again, as I mentioned before, you do not need a nail drill because Polygel, the material is pretty soft even after you use your lamp to cure it. It's hard and it's sturdy, don't get me wrong, but you do not need a drill in order to file and shape your nails because, like I said, the material is still pretty soft and it doesn't take much to remove it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue filing, getting close to the cuticle with my extra fine ceramic drill bit. I'm doing this so that I can prevent lifting. As I mentioned earlier, I am a nail biter, so this helps to prevent lifting with the Polygel set. And we're all done with the filing. Look how cute, girl. Yes. Now I went ahead and filled and filed my non-dominant hand off camera so I didn't waste y'all time, so we can get on with the get on. Now what I'm doing here, I'm going to take my slip solution, which again is 91% alcohol, and I'm just going to put that on one of my paper towels, and I'm going to clean up all the dust around the cuticles and my nail beds. And I noticed how I didn't blend my Polygel on my pinky, but it's okay because I'm going to cover it anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to clean and wipe around my nails with the alcohol so that I can remove any remaining tacky layer that may be still left on the nail after filing. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my buffer block and I'm going to go ahead and buff the nails to remove any of the remaining lumps or bumps that may be present in the Polygel after filing. This allows for me to lay my top coat extra smooth without any like lifts or dips or anything like that. And they're looking good. I'm proud of how they look. Now, I was going to remove the flowers, but I figured, no, I ain't going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and cover it with some of my transfer foils. And these are available at thenailcandycompany.com. They are so pretty. Now, I was originally going to use this, but as you'll see, I ended up using a completely different one. I liked it because it matched my desk cover that you see here. So I was like, ooh, that would be nice. I'll go ahead and use that. But eventually ended up changing my mind. But I'm going to go ahead and let you see the process in which I go ahead and use the transfer foils to put the design on there. But again, remember, I'm going to end up switching this out. So now this Macart transfer foil gel has been one of the best ones that I've used so far. I've tried the Beetles brand that's also available on Amazon. And another, I can't remember the name of the other one, but of all of the transfer foil gel that I've tried, this Macart transfer foil gel has worked like amazing. So if you're looking for a good transfer gel, I do recommend this one. Now what I've done is I applied a thin layer and then went ahead and cured it in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then I take the transfer foil, go ahead and place it on the nail and rub it. I don't have one of those little rubbing tools. Well, I do have one, I just didn't know where it was at the time. So I just used the pressure behind my nails to go ahead and transfer the foil onto the nail. And as you can see, for the most part, it transfers the foil very, very well. It's just in some places where the foil started to crease, I had an issue and had to go back and reapply it. So that's what I'm doing here. Now, I knew I wanted to use these little gold caviar beads, but I wasn't sure how. And then I thought about, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cover that pinky. So I'm going to be using Nail Candy Co.'s Glaze Non-Wipe Top Coat, which is like absolutely bomb for what I was going to do. So I went ahead and applied that to the nail. And as you can see, I will go ahead and lay some of the gold caviar beads in so that I can cover the nail. I'll be honest, these little caviar beads were so hard to work with, especially over the top coat, because they kept sliding all over the place. But in the end, it turned out very, very well, and I actually really like how it came out. But trying to control those beads, honey, as I was putting them in place was a little bit difficult. Even before I was going into the nail lamp, they were sliding all over the place. So if you're going to use caviar beads, I don't know, maybe I can look for a different method in how to get these to stick and stay in place until I cure them. That would be awesome as well. But yeah, they gave me a little bit of a hassle. And now I'm taking some very fine iridescent glitter to cover the pinky, because I was going for kind of like a spike glitter type nail, which is what I did. And I absolutely love how it came out. And even still, look at these caviar beads all over the place. But I eventually get them together and get them placed where I want, and go ahead and shove my hand into that lamp so that we can cure it. And I apologize for going in and out of view here, but I went ahead and applied some top coat because I wanted to go ahead and put some gems around the cuticle area of my ring finger. Aside from my finger being like super dry and ashy, this came out really, really cute. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just adding a little extra top coat to make sure that those crystals stay in place. I tend to do that often, and I don't have any problem with them coming out. This is the final look that I was going for. I have a couple blemishes in there, but if you don't look too close, you're not going to see them. I did these at home myself, so it is what it is. But they came out beautifully. I did notice an error where the foil did not stick on my non-dominant hand, but I really love how these came out.